All right, we're now going to move into the Meet the Innovators portion of our program, which is really, really exciting for a couple of reasons. First, you're going to get to know the top Italian manufacturers and suppliers to the aviation, aerospace, robotics, and automotive companies in the US and abroad. Now, they are going to show you in just 5 minutes, and here's the other exciting part. We're going to see if they can do it in just 5 minutes each, because you know, Italian, they like to talk, they like to have a good time. So we'll see, this is going to be a fun challenge to see if they can do it in 5 minutes. How they impact, how they innovate, and how they integrate their technologies and processes into their work for US and global companies around the world. And they really do work with some of those most amazing companies: Boeing, Tesla, SpaceX, NASA, Fiat Chrysler, Ford, GM, and so many others who really say that they couldn't do what they do as well as they do without partnerships with these companies. Now, they're going to give you a glimpse into the future and what they see in terms of trends. And with that being said, I would like to introduce our first innovator, who is Luigi Galdabini, and he is here in 3 different capacities, representing Galdabini, his family's metal forming company, Uchimu, and Cecimo. Please help me welcome to the stage Luigi Galdabini.
You gave me the remote control. How can I push it? This one?
Yes.
This one, the big one. Okay. So let me spend, working? Okay. Let me spend the first 30 seconds while the video is going of my company, just to tell you that it's a great honor and a great privilege to be here today to talk after our Prime Minister and in front of so many distinguished persons. I would like to greet everybody also on behalf of Uchimu Sistemi per Produrre, of which I'm the president. This is the Association of Italian Machine Tool Producers of Machine Tools, Robots, Automation, and Auxiliary Systems. Mr. Scalfarotto already gave a lot of numbers, so I don't want to annoy you with other numbers. Just one thing to remind you is that we are the 4th producers in the world of machine tools and the 3rd exporter. And this is, I would say, the best example of our quality around the world. United States is our first market with a big increase, double-digit last year. So going back to my experience, business experience, just a very small presentation to stay in these 5 minutes, is that the company I represent was born in 1890. So I'm in the 4th generation of a family company employer. The company has been very innovative since the beginning, and we do not aim just to talk, but to have facts that support our ideas. So I cannot, I hope that in these 3 minutes I will be able to pass you the idea that we were innovative, and we still are innovative. So we don't want to look at the past, but to look to the future as well. We have 3 product lines in our company, which is 115 people. The 3 product lines are straightening machines on the left for any kind of thing that must be straightened, including all the automotive shafts you can think, deep drawing machines and lines, and testing equipment. What I would like to stress in this slide is that the qualities that we put in our machines are qualities that are basically demanded in the market, and mainly are flexibility, customized equipment, and accuracy. Accuracy means repeatability of measures and precisions. More than that, I would like to make you some examples of the trends. I will try, of course, you can imagine that there are, I would say, many different industries among our clients, many different trends. So in a slide, I have just to pick some peculiar aspects. I would stress that in the automotive, there is, I would say, a desperate demand of flexibility. So we answer to this extreme demand of flexibility with one case that I show you very briefly, again, without too many technical details, saying that if we have to straighten any kind of gear or gearbox or pinions or stuff like this, there is a way now made by us, studied by us through the last years, where we can make a 0 setup time passing from one part to another one by means of an optical device, which is reading on the gear, on the pitch gear. So no more master gears. What is the advantage of that? Zero setup time, totally unmanned, and theoretically lot size 1. This is in fact what can be done, and the secondary advantage is that there is no wear of the measuring unit, the measuring device, because there is no contact. Among our customers, I'm noting some of them, which are the most known and important Tier 1 OEMs and Tier 1 in the United States. Another example is that we are under construction now for an American company of Texas, a big machine, very big machine for big, we call it giant barrels. They are 50 inches diameter and, 500 inches diameter and 50 feet long, 30 ton of weight. Why is a special innovative solution? Because nobody could quote such a machine. So we had to realize a special machine designing from zero, horizontal made, with a very innovative system to correct not only deformation but also ovality of it at any point along the length by means of laser measurement along the length. So advantage is that, okay, first of all, we have a solution which is fully automatic and working unmanned. Second point, we can straighten the extremities, so no more waste of material cutting the extremities. Let's have a look to the future in the last 30 seconds. Which can be the future? We know that industry is demanding us at least two basic things: extreme quality in measurement in production and 100% tracking of parts. So for quality of parts, we are studying, we have now in place a solution, just an example, to measure the inside of the barrels. And here I'm meaning precision barrels, which are mainly for military industry. And I stop here not to infringe any kind of secret, but this is now a reality. Second one are optical devices to measure and to detect any single part so that production is fully tracked. So I thank you very much, everybody, for the attention, and I hope I proved you that Italians can stay in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luigi. I love the commitment, not just to quality, but the reduction of waste. That's very interesting. All right, our next innovator is Matteo Benedetto, who is the Vice President of Marketing for PRIMA Industriae. Before joining PRIMA Industriae, he worked as an accountant and a consultant for Edwards Consulting in London, as well as for the Fiat Group as a Director of Marketing and Sales, responsible for the Alfa Romeo brand. Please help me welcome to the stage, Matteo Benedetto.
Thank you very much. This one. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. I feel a little bit of pressure because after so many people, important people talking before me and having here my ex-boss, I feel a little bit of pressure. But today I'm not here to talk about other companies. I'm here to talk to you about PRIMA Industriae. You see some images. We are a world-class manufacturer of 2D, 3D laser cutting machine, as well as sheet metal machinery. We are a public company, so we are listed on the Italian Stock Exchange market with a turnover of roughly $400 million and 1,600 employees. We strongly believe in innovation. In fact, I agree with what our Prime Minister said. Innovation is the way of leading the markets. We invest 6% of our turnaround every year in innovation, and we are present worldwide in over 80 countries. It means that our services and products are sold in 80 countries in the world. Not all countries have the same importance. And now I come to the point why we are here in Chicago in the US. Some markets are more important than other ones, especially when you need to catch trends. Being able to be here and competitive in the US market make us able to face the most difficult challenges. And today's challenges here in the US market are tomorrow's challenges elsewhere in the world. Therefore, our company has decided to have a wide presence here. US market, even though it's the first market for us worldwide with $100 million turnover, is not only a selling market, it's a partner for us. we engineer and we produce here the most advanced machine of our entire product range. I am referring to 3D laser machines for automotive, aerospace, and also medical applications, and also the laser sources. We have developed and we are producing here in the US our fiber laser. Our main office is nearby here in Harlington Road, so if anybody is wishing to put an order, we are ready, don't be shy. Okay? Today I want to present you two case histories. They are quite different sectors. The first one is related to the Unison Comfort technologies. Here the customer need was to move and to review the way they are producing from many lines to one flexible line. Our solution was to develop and to propose our advanced automatized production line. Why this trend is growing in the US? Because mainly three reasons. First, production batches are reducing year after year, especially after the crisis of some years ago. Second, time to market to deliver these small batches is reducing as well. Third, and it's less obvious, but it's something that is becoming reality, is more and more difficult to find qualified workers for the lines. To work on a line is not any longer attractive for younger generation. And this is driving the demand up for automatized production lines, which has to be flexible, efficient, and able to deliver quality, constant quality. A second trend is related to another sector, a completely different sector. It's the car manufacturing sector. We are also serving car manufacturer and tier one of car manufacturer. And here the trend is driven by different effects. I'm not talking about, let's say, future trends related to electric or hybrid cars. I'm talking about today facts driven by the fact that every car needs to be safer than the previous generation. And today there is a higher sensibility to the fuel consumption reduction, CO2 reduction, efficiency of the cars. This is forcing car makers to change some materials when they build cars, to have stronger structures with lighter weight. I'm talking about high-strength steel, hot stamped technologies, and this is a little bit changing the way they are producing cars. That's why we have developed a specific machine addressed to this market. It's a 3D laser machine, which is today recognized to be the fastest and the most productive machine in the world for hot stamping applications. Future trend, what's the future? We see three great trends. One, we have already talked when talking about car business, is the green sensibility. This is touching also our machine, and with our fiber laser, for instance, we are making more efficient our machines of about 45%. Another trend is connectivity. All machines have to talk each other in a plant and be connected each other to get the maximum flexibility and production. They have also to talk with the producer, with the ERP of our customer, and with us for telemetry, and in the near future for advanced diagnostic, so to prevent. And the third one, the third big trend, which is very important in the United States, is the additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing is a new technology that is growing and coming out, and growing at a double digit, 80% year over year about. And 60% of the additive manufacturing is concentrated here in the US. We are today leading a project to develop a breakthrough technology to have an additive manufacturing capable of building big pieces. Today is more concentrated in small pieces. And we, thanks to our presence here in the United States, we have been able to drive into our project other players from the United States, such as General Electric with its aviation division, Optomec, So other companies that we have been capable to catch thanks to our strong presence in the United States. So these are the trends that we see for the immediate future and long-term future. I hope it was interesting for you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Matteo. Very interesting glimpse into the future. Our next innovator is Marco Livelli, who is the CEO of Jobs. He's been working at Jobs for the past 24 years, currently in the role of Managing Director and CEO. He has also worked for 3 American companies, KPMG, ICN, and Loctite. Please welcome to the stage, Marco Livelli.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon to everybody. It's an honor for me to be here today. Now we see the fuselage machining in Alenia in Italy, thanks to our machines. This is a very important project for us because it allows us to change in some way the rules of machining this composite material aircraft. Okay. So, starting from the presentation, we are present in the headquarters in Piacenza, that is in the region of Emilia-Romagna, is the land of mechanics. It's the land where Ducati or Ferrari or Lamborghini are based. And we are also present in USA, in Sterling Heights, in Michigan. We mainly deliver our machines to aviation, aeronautics, and automotive sector, and general engineering as well. Today I want to talk quickly about this project made by Mr. Leonardo da Vinci, an Italian inventor, in the 15th century. He tried to attempt to design new solution for the flight. Now with the Boeing 787, Boeing changed the rule book, how to produce an aircraft. So you see our machine cutting the windows, making the drills, cutting the doors of this completely new aircraft. I remember that when Boeing called us in Seattle, the idea was so innovative that they really asked us to help them, with Alenia, to find solution. So we go over the knowledge at the time, and the final result is we get the goal, we reduce the machining cost, we improve the productivity. But what does it mean, precision? Precision is 100th of an human error. So it means that the tolerance, the maximum error you can have is 100 of a human error. That is really a difficult result to reach. This is another image of a sculpture of Michelangelo, 16th century, the wonderful shape, as we found in new models of cars, where the concept to reduce the time to market is basic, and where in a fraction of time we can obtain a similar result of a wonderful sculpture. Obviously, our machines are able to reduce the end work, that is a key issue to reduce the cost, and to obtain a wonderful quality. Again, trends to watch. Today, you already have seen some experience, you will listen about experience in additive manufacturing. Well, we just signed an agreement with BMW in Munich to install laser system for additive manufacturing, to find new solution in the car industry. Virtual reality is another important point, everybody are talking about virtual reality. Now we can get more and more data. But what we think is important is to transform this mass of data in smart data. In which way? In new aerospace and aircraft field, very often there is a multi-layered panel. Aluminum, carbon fiber, titanium. And thanks to this smart data, our machine is able to change immediately the parameters, for example, of drilling a part to be machined. So, these are what I want to say to you in a very short way. We have to rush today. Thank you to everybody and have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Marco. And what was really interesting about that presentation to me is it reminded me when the Prime Minister was speaking, how he looked to the past to look towards the future. And you did the same thing there, Marco, where you were looking back and talking about Da Vinci and Michelangelo as inspiration to make the future even better. So I thought that was really interesting. Our next innovator is Edward Vella, who is the president of MARPOSS, a wholly owned subsidiary of MARPOSS SPA in Italy. Pleasure to see you. Can we have a round of applause? He's just coming and taking it right over.
Am I on? Okay, very good. First of all, I want to say if somebody's going to be guilty of going over 5 minutes, it's probably going to be me. But I'm American, so you can't blame the Italians, okay? So again, I'm president of MARPOSS Corporation in the United States, responsible for the group of MARPOSS companies in North America. We've been measuring manufactured parts and using data to control manufacturing process since 1952. In fact, in 1952, our founder, Mario Passati, built a gauge that was rugged enough to actually mount inside a grinding machine to measure the diameter of a rotating shaft while it was actually being ground. That allowed the process to be stopped when the part reached the right size, and it was a real breakthrough in that time period, and it was a great enhancement of productivity and quality for the manufacturing process. He brought that technology to the North America in 1963 to support both the Italian and the German machine tool companies that were launching machines in the United States at that time, which had our gauges installed in them at the factory. We also came to the United States to integrate that technology into the thousands of grinding machines that were around the country at the time in order to speed up the process, to allow less skilled operators to run those machines, and to produce a higher quality part. So 60 years later, we are an Italian global company and the technology leader industry with more than 90% of our products used actually outside of Italy. Although we're not a machine tool company, and we are an integral part of the manufacturing industry and the machine tool industry and the industry performance improvements. MARPOSS products can be found in virtually every kind and class of machine tool all over the world. MARPOSS can be and MARPOSS generated data and data analysis is making them more precise, more productive, and easier to use every day. Meanwhile, we broadened our technology also to measurement off the machine tool with quality control products and solutions that represents 50% of what MARPOSS does. The combination of this on and off machine tool measurement and process control technology is what ensures what leaves factories today meets the highest standards and the high expectations of the customer. So for today, I have to figure out how to work the So I'm looking to move the slide. Very good.
Another one?
Yeah, very good. Okay, perfect. Okay. For today, I was asked to talk about global trends in manufacturing. We think it's important to talk about two areas where manufacturing is experiencing dynamic change and presents real opportunities. First is in the aerospace industry, where high volume production strategies are really starting to take off. And the other is the automotive sector, where the I want it my way consumer demands are colliding with high volume, cost-sensitive production requirements. In these industries, new technology is rapidly changing everything that manufacturing companies once thought they knew about combining precision and productivity with changing customer demands, rapidly changing customer demands. Okay, aerospace. It's clear that more people want to and need to fly. This means there needs to be more planes, and those planes need to be operating longer to provide more seats and at a lower cost. As those who already know MARPOSS would expect, our systems are heavily represented in the manufacturing of aircraft engines and body components, helping to speed up the production process by part measurement with feedback, lower cost or lower manufacturing cost by machine monitoring systems that increase tool life, and increase airplane life cycle by providing gauging products that are precise but simple enough to use, supporting a stronger quality program. Two quick examples are the device that you see on the right side of that slide, which is a touch probe. It's sensitive enough to scan and measure the critical dimensions and geometries of a turbine blade. That component of the engine spins at several thousand revolutions, just a few feet away from the passengers. We also measure the size and geometry of the rivet holes that are the key to holding the various airframe panels together. It's accomplished by wireless Bluetooth technology that we apply to a gauge that allows the operator the freedom to make inspections while moving around the entire plane. So this kind of technology is what's helping keep you inside that aircraft at 30,000 feet. But these MARPOSS provided solutions would not be very surprising, again, given our background in the automotive industry. Where we found our newest challenge is on the other end of the cycle. It's where the maintenance and repair of the planes, or the so-called MRO process, maintenance, repair, overhaul facilities, have a challenge. It makes sense that airplane engines must be checked and maintained after a specific number of flying hours or landing takeoff cycles, and they must be reliably repaired or overhauled in a reasonably short period of time. None of us wants to hear the plane is experiencing technical problems en route, and we certainly always expect our plane to be there at the right time when we need to take off. To make that happen isn't easy. And a recent case study shows how macro approach applied by one turbine engine manufacturer to ensure plane safety and also lower cost is exactly the right one. A U.S. turbine manufacturer decided it needed to supply the MRO sites around the world with reliable, precise, and cost-effective, but very special assembly and disassembly tools for the new fleet of turbine engines. So, through a simultaneous engineering partnership with a turbine engine manufacturer, MARPOSS designed, built, tested a suite of tools for this critical MRO activity. Following the request of the engine producer, we also expanded our global manufacturing base of the tools to ensure the right tool quality, production capacity, and reasonable cost regardless of location in the world. Then, through the MARPOSS global distribution base, we could provide these tools to the global MRO sites, avoiding that low cost, low quality, counterfeit tools that can damage engine parts and slow down the repair process. We're entering into the MRO process. The result is the MRO sites, regardless of location, are sure to receive reliable, precise tools that ensure the airline customers are flying without risk and on time. Next, automotive. We can't forget automotive. That's where we started. MARPOSS has been a part of the automotive manufacturing since day one back in 1952. In all that time, we never thought of a car like food. But what we realize is today, people do. For example, people want jalapenos on hamburgers in Mexico, and they want pineapple on pizza in the United States. They love fast food, and they love fast food prices, and they love speed. But they do not want to pay a penalty for any of that. In other words, they want their cars built to their taste and no penalty. However, since these tastes are different around the world and always changing, this represents a real challenge to the industry that is accustomed to spending hundreds of millions of dollars in dedicated production lines aimed at specific markets. Of course, what the customer challenge means for the industry is that car makers that are able to implement flexibility and commonality in manufacturing on a global scale will be the most successful, along with suppliers that can help. These concepts also extend to the engine and transmissions of a car, and right down to the engine and transmission component producers and companies like MARPOSS that measure and control these components. That brings us to the crankshaft, the heart of the motion of an engine. They are machined to unbelievably small tolerances on very high volume dedicated lines today. Until now, manufacturing flexibility for the crankshaft has not been part of the macro picture, but that has all changed. A recent success centers on a need for flexibility, commonality on a global scale. As one U.S. car maker focused on cost reduction and a high level of engine performance flexibility by using identical flexible manufacturing lines located in key global markets to make a global family of engines. The car manufacturer required production line measurement machines to run 24/7, check 100% of their crankshaft parts for nearly 100 dimensional and geometrical tolerances, controls with tolerances less than 1/100th of a diameter of a human hair, and in less than a minute. And they asked for flexibility to move over the range of crankshaft parts within the global family. This identical machine needed to be set up in any country around the world and used by the local production teams. The result provided by MARPOSS is truly flexible automatic measurement machine integrated into a manufacturing line that can handle any part type in the family. These flex machines are more standard. Therefore, they're produced faster with a reduced cost. They ensure the same high performances of our previous machines, and therefore the quality of the customer parts, regardless of the manufacturing location in the world, is guaranteed. What the customer asks for and achieve is one of those special keys to unlocking the global scale of production and meeting individual customer requirements, performance, and cost around the world. Okay. Closing up with Industry 4.0. That's the next big thing in manufacturing. The Internet of Things on the production floor, and MARPOSS is fully on board. In fact, if you could discuss this concept with our founder, Mario Posati, he would probably smile and point out that it's exactly the same idea he introduced in 1952. Measure the process in real time, use the data to control the process in real time, and provide interconnectivity so the data is accessible to anyone who needs it. We look forward to continuing this collaboration with Industry 4.0 leaders and drivers to allow even smarter data collection, information building, and knowledge transformation into executable instructions. To allow higher degree of big data analysis, to maintain production process monitoring and control, to allow interaction between operator and machine to a higher standard, with the operator interfaces always easier to use, highly interactive and customizable. This provides operators with varying backgrounds, skills, and even physical abilities the opportunity to do their job with no compromise on safety or productivity. So in conclusion, the common objective of MARPOSS, the machine tool industry, and the manufacturing industry in manufacturing companies is to bring faster, higher quality, low-cost components and products to the market. And it's clear that this success is being measured by MARPOSS all over the world every day. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.